this exhibit. So first, this is my quilt that I made in 2021. This was during COVID. I made this quilt because during COVID I was tired of math, and so I just had to express myself in this quilt. So you see this little girl here is stepping on boxes after she came home from school. And I chose these colors at the time because I really liked the colors and it complemented her brown skin. Let's move on to the next quilt. Over here is an African mask. We did this during our retreat in June. I would like to have Miss Montika, one of our Quilting Guild members, to speak about this.
Okay. One of the quilts and things that I've done is I've taught this class online international, teaching ladies how to use African fabric to make their quilts. And so when I did that, I thought I would bring it to the guild. And so then Myra chose these colors. So I'll let Myra talk about her quilt.
Hi everybody, I'm Myra. This is my quilt.
The colors you chose.
I chose green and pink, and I just really like those colors. I think they went together really well, and I don't really know what else to say about it. That's really all.
Okay.
Thank you. During our retreat, we continue our learning, and we do different activities that we enjoy. So over here, we have a quilt made by my Aunt Tony. This is my great-grandmother, Linda Lee. She was like the leader, what's the word I'm saying? Matriarch of our quilting guild, and I'll have my aunt speak more about this quilt.
Okay. So this quilt was actually part of our very first exhibit. One of the things that the guild does is we make sure that we exhibit. Before we go on, I do want to introduce all of our other guild members here because they came out to support. So there is Adrienne, she's 13. There's Emmy, she's our youngest member at 11. And they've actually been members since about six. Even before they were members, they were members. And so probably 4 and 5. And then Montika is here from the furthest. She came from Junction City, Kansas. So during COVID, one of the neat things that happened with quilt guilds is that we could all join different quilt guilds. So Montika and I actually met in person in Lawrence, Kansas at a quilt conference, and we kept in touch. And then during COVID, all the guilds kind of opened up membership so that we could be members during online. And so Montika became a member, and she's been a member ever since. Her membership is very important because she kind of briefly touched on it, but during our retreat, which is our skill building retreat, Montika leads those skill building sessions along with Barb Triscari, Alnita Lee, who's another member. And then we have Myra. She introduced herself. Myra is a member. Myra is our youngest board member. She's been a board member since she was 10 years old. And so she is our youth advisor to make sure that we keep our young people joining guilds, because quilting is for 60-year-olds. Like, we rule the roost in terms of quilting. And so I'm really proud of them showing off today. When we quilt, they quilt. When we exhibit, they exhibit. So this is about your 10th, 11th exhibit that they've been in, so they've exhibited forever. Verna is here. Verna is a founding member also, Verna Moore. Verna was our treasurer, and so she is a member in good standing who has, one of the things we say is linked hearts forever, and so she left church to come and support today. Alnita Lee is a founding member and a board member, and she left work. So she just got off work and ran over here to support. So she is a guild member. This young man right here is a de facto member, all right? And so he, one of the things we say in the quilting world is that when a man quilts, everybody gets all excited, So he does quilt with us, and he is Myra's father and my nephew. So he also quilts. I'm the founding president. But I used to say founder, but I changed it to founding because you don't want a guild where members aren't members and they don't have a say-so. So we're very proud of the fact that in our guild, members have a say-so. And then we have one of our newer members who also exhibits and has several quilts around the city right now at the main library and at Sacred Threads. And this is Sherry Hill, and she is a member also of Akoma Ntoso. And so that quilt was in our first exhibit, and I was not supposed to make that quilt. I was my founding treasurer, my niece Vanita, was supposed to make it. She sadly passed away. I finished it. My mom sadly passed away right before we exhibited that. And so that was a really difficult quilt to make, but one of the things that quilting will do is it's very cathartic. And so it helps us to heal, and we're just very proud of it. So I'll stop talking because I'll send it back over to Adrian.
Before we move on, does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, thank you. So next over here, excuse me, we have this display case with our spirit dolls and bowls. For spirit dolls, we did this at a workshop with other guilds that we collaborated with. In our intention, the spirit dolls do mean something to do with culture and nature, and we expressed ourselves throughout these dolls. And for the bowls, I will have my sister, who is really good at making the bowls. She can do them in like hours. So, Emerson?
Hi, my name is Emerson, and I make the bowls on the second shelf right there. And the bowls are made out like they're rope bowls, and I use the sewing machine to sew them together. And we use dyed rope, which is called indigo, and we used them, and we did that at the retreat we did.
Yes, we did. Thank you.
I would like for Montika to tell a little bit about my first experience with making a rope bowl and how we really support our young members and their strong skill set.
When we first started making the bowls at the guild, Emerson was the first one to snap up real quick how to hold a hand, how to work the machine, and just let the bowl do the work. And so Emerson was really good at it. So when it came for Tony, wasn't too thrilled about making a bowl. So everyone was making them, and then Tony says, "Okay, I'm ready." And so I said, "Okay." So when I went over to Tony, it was like she was not moving her hand. She didn't want to do it her way. And I kept saying, "Tony, this way." So she says, I said, "Emerson, come show your auntie how to do this." And then she walks over and she says, "Okay, Auntie Tony." And Tony was like, "What?"
She was 8.
And so Emerson pretty much took the lead in making sure people knew how to hold their hands, and she was the one that took the risk at reshaping the bowls and doing her own thing and not being afraid. And you can see her experience, how it has just blossomed, and she's not afraid. And you can look at her bowls and you can see the intrinsic ways that she will maneuver that bowl and the rope to get what she wants. And she's our expert in that bowl now. Bowl making.
Thank you so much for sharing your description about everything. I would like everybody to follow me into this room over here. So these are the sisters. These are my aunt's 4 dogs. So this is Khaleesi, this is Star, this is Biscuit, and this is Butter. 3 of them, sadly, unfortunately, passed away. But we do still have our crazy Khaleesi with us. This was a collaboration quilt with me, my sister, and my aunt. And these were hung up at the Quilters Hall of Fame. So I pieced Butter, my sister pieced Khaleesi, and then my aunt did Biscuit and Star. And I will say we did love these dogs so much. We took amazing care of them. They were like our best friends. Other than that, that was pretty much it. Over here, we do have my aunt quilted a Dame quilt. I will have her explain more about her quilt right here.
So one of the things we talk about in the quilt world is should you give the quilter recognition for their work? And if you look at the intricate quilting in this quilt, you can see I made the Dame, which is the African symbol for intelligence and ingenuity, but you'll see a lot of intricate quilting going around there. I had to give Mike Stevens credit for that because his echoing of the Dame symbol, you'll see it in his stitching, his echoing of some of my fabric is repeated in that quilt also. And so in our guild, we always give the quilter recognition for their work on a quilt. And this quilt was one of the first quilts that I made where it was completely my idea. And I worked with the G's Ben sisters. They talked to me about, you know, don't follow a pattern, come up with your own ideas. And so this was like one of the first quilts that made me think outside of the box for my own pattern. So none of the quilts that you see are made with patterns. And so we tend to come up with our own ideas for that. So that hung at the Center for Black Literature and Culture for over 2 years during COVID. So just very proud of that quilt and very proud of the work that the late Mike Stevens did with his quilting.
Thank you. Over here we have my great-grandmother's Linda Lee's quilt. This was a 4-patch quilt. This was her favorite type of quilting. It was out of, she could have made it out of cardboard. Over here we do have a QR code about her honoring Linda Lee, and we did attend an event called Chocolate Sunday for her. And I would say that event was pretty fun.
It was good.
Other than that, hold on, excuse me. But like she was quilting like all her life, and her favorite quilt pattern was a 9-patch, and she enjoyed making her own pattern. So I will say that's all for this quilt.
And completely handmade.
Yes.
So she did not use a sewing machine. Everything was hand stitched.
What did you say about the cardboard?
She did like to make stuff out of, like, her quilt out of cardboard. Her patterns out of cardboard.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we're gonna move over here.
So, Adrian.
Yes.
Before you move on, Paul asked me to just tell a little bit about Mama's quilt. You know, one of the things that you'll notice that we're more artist quilts. We do a lot of art quilts. And my mom did a lot of hand quilting. We believe in the quilt world that quilts are healing. Like, they're not only healing to us as artists, but physically. And so you see me sitting on a rollator because in 2023, I was in a car wreck where I broke both my legs and my hip. And when I was in this excruciating pain, which I'm not in today, I'm not in excruciating pain anymore, but I requested that someone bring me my mama's quilt so I could lay under it in the rehab center. And I often said that the CNA workers kind of treated me a little differently with that quilt. They would say, "Where's your quilt?" "Oh, we didn't take it to the laundry, did we?" "Oh, here's your quilt. Do you have your quilt? Do you want your quilt?" And so they recognized the fact that that was a very meaningful part of my healing. And so my mom passed in 2019 at almost 85. And so even coming in Friday, when Montika came in, one of her red, white, and blue quilts is on my table, and Montika said, "Oh, whose quilt is that? That's a beautiful quilt." And I really kind of got touched because that was my mama's quilt. It's like she just made really simple quilts, but we recognize her her artistry in what she did. Okay.
Yes, and then over here, this is me, my sisters, and my cousin Myra's quilts. I will share like about 2 of my quilts because, yeah. So basically over here is a quilt that I made. So my mother did pass away in 2019. She was 36 years old. I was 6. My brother was 13 and my sister was 4 or 5. But I did do this dedicated to her. So here's my mom in the sky watching over us, and then here's my 3 siblings. I made this quilt out of crayon. It was a new dye trick that me and my aunt did together. I would say it's pretty fun. So basically what I did is that I melted the crayon on a heating thing and painted over it, and then went outside. When it dried, we crumbled off the rest of the crayon, so that's why there is a little bit of cracks. Then over here is a Martin Luther King Jr. quilt that I made in 2nd grade. Well, I pieced together my aunt quilted in 2nd grade. It was for a project that I did to represent Black History Month. And I really enjoyed making this one. I felt like it was pretty cool. Then over here is my cousin's quilt. I would like her to explain some of them for me.
So this over here is my first paper piece that I made, and portrait paper piece that I made. At first it was kind of difficult because putting together all these little pieces together was really hard. And I chose blue because this my dad's favorite color. So all the little different blues in there. And then this one was for, what was that again?
I think that was for a Spirit in Place one, where we work with trusted mentors. So this was a lady that you got her survey.
So my lady, she really she wanted to go to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did this little came of her, basically going there. And these little symbols, this one, I think this one, humility and strength. So I chose these for her. And then this one up here, it was another.
That one was for the Center for Black Literature and Culture. See, I have to make the signs for them. They just have to do the quilts.
So this one, my idea was because it kind of, I knew I would be a Black girl, and her afro is different. She has different words in success, inspire, dream, responsibility, and all that stuff. And then, you gotta get a little bit closer, I think. But she has scars, on her cheek.
What does the scars represent?
I think that because just like the pain that Black girls, young Black girls, don't have to go through. So that kind of resembles that. And then this one was, this is also Spirit in Place, and this one just signifies change. And this one is between one.
So Myra, when you talk to us, turn this way. There you go.
So this one.
Yeah, you got to show your voice and carry.
Go on the other side, Myra. There you go.
So this one was to represent change and just identity, and to not be afraid of just who you are as a person, and just be able to express yourself freely without nobody having or without being judged or judge you.
Thank you for sharing. Over here is my sister's quilt. I will have her come up here and share about some of her quilts that she had.
Speak loud too, Amy.
Nice and loud, baby. You got this.
So my first quote I have up here is called the Nazi the Trickster. So this quote, I don't remember what year I made it in.
She was 5.
Oh yeah, I was 5. I pieced it together in my sheets to put it together. And I really like this one because I really like how she used the gold stitching for the all the black and the white and different colors, and then she also suit these waves so you can see these. And then down here, just how she used the Crayola, the crayons to paint over it, and then we went outside and crumbled it up. And then at mine, where the sun sets, so like over here is a dock, and then the sun, and then like the ocean right here. And then up here, and then also right there in COVID. So this one is called for the birds, and this is a little black boy and a little black girl cutting up masks, and the birds coming to get them so they can put them in their nest. And this one is sitting and finding peace. It's just an outside in a nice colorful house.
Well, that one was for Spirit in Place. Remember the lady who, so the mentor program for Spirit in Place, they are unhoused. And so it is about taking people who may have been in prison or unhoused or off drugs, and to take, again, a survey like Myra had, and to say, what would you want the artist to do for you? And so one of the things that the lady said was that I would like to live in a nice house for my family. And so. You want to talk about the little mask too?
Over here is little portraits that me and my sister and my aunt made. This was for an exhibit. It was also here too. It was portrait quilts for the Quilting Guild in Fiber, and this one's me, and this one's my sister, and then this one's my aunt, and this is my sister. I really enjoyed making these. I feel like you did have to choose a picture to reference off of. And pretty much, yeah, that was pretty much it. Is there anything you want to share about yours?
I love white hair. I want my hair to be that white one day. And so I actually dyed my hair that white a couple of summers in a row. Yeah, that's my real hair.
Okay, I would like to say thank you guys for coming, and we do have QR codes so you can watch videos, and me and my members are welcome to questions, and there is little descriptions around the exhibit to look off of to just look at what every single quilt is about in fuller detail. I would like to say give yourselves a round of applause for coming. Thank you.
There are also cookies and refreshing water.
Good job, ladies.
Okay.